Did you know that the original tale of Rapunzel is quite different than what's shown in the Disney movie? Because this tale starts out with a pregnant wife, and this pregnant wife has a craving for rampion, a specific type of plant that only grew in the garden of their neighbour, a supposed witch. She had this craving, and her husband, being the sweetheart that he was, climbed into the witch's garden, grabbed the rampion, came back, and gave it to her. And the craving for that night was, fulfilled. But then the next night she craved it even more. And so her husband went into the garden once again, took it back home, gave her the rampion, and she was happy. But by the third night her hunger to the rampion was so big, she sent her husband out again. This time he was caught by the witch. She was a very angry woman, and she was, "What are you doing, stealing my plants?" But when the husband explained that his wife was pregnant and that she had a craving for this and that she felt like she would die without it, the woman was like, "Okay, I will let you pick any kind of rampion that you want, as much as you want, but the second that your child is born, the child belongs to me. It will be well cared for, don't worry about that, but it will no longer be your child." You must understand that this husband was really quite fear-stricken by the appearance of the witch, so he agreed to everything she said. He came back home with the rampion, the pregnancy, came to an end, the child was born, and the second the child was put to this earth, the witch appeared in the bathroom, called the child Rapunzel, and disappeared with it. Now Rapunzel grew up quite quickly, and by the time that she was 12 years old, the witch put her in a tower. To keep her safe from the world is what she told her, but actually it was, to make sure that no one from the outside could get to Rapunzel. It was kind of her prized possession, really. So Rapunzel, beautiful long hair, was stuck in a tower, and every single day the witch would come to the tower and call, "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair," and then climb up into the tower to, take care of her daughter. But at one point, Rapunzel lived in the tower and did everything she normally did inside the tower. So she was singing and having fun as far as possible within, the space of a tower. And at one point, a young prince heard her sing, and he immediately fell in love with her. So he kept watch of the tower, realized how the witch was getting up, and so he himself also tried it out. "Rapunzel, Rapunzel, let down your hair." He climbed up, met the Rapunzel, and the two became fast friends. But at one point, the witch figured out that Rapunzel was seeing someone else, someone from the outside world. Because Rapunzel, in her youthful stupidity, complained. She complained, "Why is it so hard for you to climb up my hair? Why are you so heavy? Because, the prince does it in seconds." Well, when the witch heard that, she was angry. Wickedly angry. What she did was she cut off the hair of Rapunzel, sent Rapunzel away into the desert, and waited patiently until the prince would come at night to call upon Rapunzel again. So when the prince called, and, typical Rapunzel, "Rapunzel, let down your hair," she let down the braid made of Rapunzel's cut off hair, and the prince climbed up. And when the prince came into the tower, he was quite shocked to see not Rapunzel, but the witch. And the witch, in her wickedness, called to him, "You will never see Rapunzel again. She is lost to you. She was the bird caught in this tower, and I am the cat, and I too will scratch your eyes out." In his despair, the prince jumped from the tower. He survived that, don't worry. The thing is, he landed in thick thorns. The thorns blinded him. And for years he wandered aimlessly around the forest, wondering if he would ever see his true love again. And he did. After a couple of years, he came upon a desert, and within that desert there was Rapunzel. And when she saw him reunited with her love, she cried these tears, and his eyes were healed. He could see once again, and together they fled away to his kingdom and lived happily ever after.